Special shout out to today's video sponsor, 𝐋𝐸 If you're in the market for your next ASIC miner, go no further than 𝐋𝐸mining.com. 𝐋𝐸 carries some of the most popular models on the market. To name just a few, the Bitmain Antminer L9 and L7, the 𝐷𝐸𝐺 DG1+, the Bitmain Antminer S21 Pro, and finally the 𝐼CE AL3. Home miners have a home over at 𝐋𝐸 with some amazing deals on units like the 𝐼CE KS2 Lite Kaspa miner and the AL2 Lite Alephium miner. Some of my favorites include the 𝐷𝐸𝐺 DG1 and the new Flueminer L1 script miner. Finally, two major reasons I like buying from 𝐋𝐸. Finding a reliable source for your ASIC purchases can be challenging. With 𝐋𝐸, they simplify the process, ensuring you buy with confidence and ease. And the big one, 𝐋𝐸 accepts not only bank transfers, but crypto payments to make life easier. Head on over to 𝐋𝐸mining.com today and use the promo codes down below in the video description for a discount at checkout. What's going on, guys? I am here with your friend Andy to talk about mining in 2025. How's it going, Andy?
Oh, super good. Good to see you, hobbyists. Excited to talk about 2025 and crypto.
Yeah, so let's dive into it. So we are 1 month into 2025. And however, we are also a few days into the new administration. And last time you and I sat down, we talked a lot and speculated a lot about what things could look like in 2025. But I think I speak for the both of us, where we couldn't imagine then what has happened just within the last week or so. What are your thoughts right now for crypto mining right now?
If you know me and if you've spoken with me or watched my videos over the past year, you know that I was already insanely bullish for 2025 or this bull run. That has now been, the dial has been turned past that straight up to 11. This past week has been one of the craziest weeks in crypto that I've ever experienced, and I've been through 3 cycles now. We kicked off 2 days before the inauguration with Trump launching his own meme coin, which Trump launching a meme coin was not on my bingo card, was not expecting that. I think that is very telling. I think that sets the stage. Absolutely. An executive order passed to create a committee of people who are going to put clear-cut crypto regulation frameworks out there. It's a very, very muddy landscape right now. Projects and companies don't really want to launch tokens or build companies in the US in the crypto space because they don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to be sued or worse. So these companies, these projects are like, hey, we will absolutely follow the letter of the law. We'll do whatever you dictate. We just need to know what those things are, and then we will build. So I think that is like step one on building in America with crypto and making that whole thing way clearer, which is so bullish. And then there's all this talk of digital stockpile of digital assets or whatever that might lead into Bitcoin strategic reserve. So this past week, I think, has been a fairly fundamental shift, not to mention Ross Ulbright, full pardon, crazy, fundamental shift in the direction we are going. So I feel like I have to throw all of my price targets that I already kind of had for 2025 out the window because they're just not bullish enough.
Andy right now is like a little kid in a candy store. Can you guys tell how excited he is? But no, I absolutely agree with you. Regardless of where you sit on the political stage, I think we're all crypto miners, and everything that we are seeing, exactly what you had said. We didn't expect any of this. I honestly, we expected some upward momentum. We expected some progress, but I'm going to be honest, every day I wake up and I check Twitter and I'm like, what now? What now? Because literally every day there was forward momentum for crypto miners in one way or another. And it's absolutely insane. And if you guys aren't following, you definitely should, because these are all things that, we're seeing crypto starting to pump right now. We were down below 100. We're doing really well right now, but who knows where things will go from here. And I am just as excited because I think for the last several years, it seems like everything has been against crypto, has been against exchanges, against Bitcoin. And now all of a sudden with the new administration coming in, it is all, we are seeing things flip. Like insanely right now. And I wasn't prepared. And I think you're absolutely right. None of these things were on any of our bingo cards. So let's talk a little bit more about that, especially just looking at, our strategies for 2025. So based off of just, crazy to think, 1 month in, a few days into the current administration, what's changed for you with your crypto strategy, whether it's not only sell points or targets or hardware decisions that you're looking to make?
So I mean, yeah, like I said already, very, very bullish. And just it was either today or it was yesterday. There's news talking about Eric Trump talking with somebody, kind of grabbed this headline of seriously considering this whole no capital gains tax for U.S. based cryptocurrencies. And so far, all their language around that has, for whatever reason, I mean, there's no way to know if Bitcoin is actually made in America. We don't know who is behind it, but they've lumped Bitcoin in there. So if you're a Bitcoin miner, we might be getting to a place where if that is, and at this point, we've got so many curveballs from this administration, I would not put it past them to actually enact something like that. And if that were to happen, well, then guess what? That changes your mining strategy completely. If all of a sudden you're able to mine your, it's still probably going to be the daily income, normal income tax you're going to pay on it. But the appreciation, when you sell it, you hodl all your Bitcoin that you're mining. You then wait, you sell it when it's at 250K or $1 million. If we get there this cycle, because we did a Bitcoin strategic reserve, I mean, don't hold your breath on all that. But if it were to happen, no capital gains tax on that. That is a massive, that's huge. Within 1 year, that's 30 to 40% savings. Within over a year, long-term capital gains tax, that's up to 19% savings. So huge implications for a miner there. But two, my strategy, and I think yours has been similar. It's like we want to grab solid hardware when we're coming out of the tail end of the bear market, coming into the beginning of the bull run, because almost always going into a bull run, as things pump, go crazy, demand, how do I get my hands on, I want to earn Bitcoin, I want to earn Dogecoin, I want to do these things, miner values go up. And so far, guess what? That's exactly what I'm seeing. L9s, we were just talking about this the other day, hobbyists. You got your L9s even before me for almost half the price of mine. And since I bought them, they've even gone up in price. And I think that's a trend that as people who mine cryptos, we're going to continue seeing. So you better sharpen your pencils and make a good little plan, because there's going to be an inflection point where you might want to consider flipping some of this stuff for a profit. I know I will be.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really funny because my goal was to have all of my full-size ASIC miners online before January 20th. I was like, I need to get them online, up and running. My last 6 got up and running just 2 days before. I was like, they need to get up and running. And they're Bitcoin miners too. Absolutely. They were S21s and S19K Pros that were moving between hosting facilities. And I was bullish. I'm like, I need these up and running. And now it's definitely panned out. On top of that, you definitely mentioned there about the fact of hardware prices going up. You're right. I got my L9 for $8,900. And that was before Bitcoin hit 90K. And now it's in a really good place. You're not finding one for if you're finding one for $8,900, it's a scam somewhere. Just telling you now. Absolutely. So that being said, so for me right now, looking at where everything is, I need to constantly remind myself of the cycle and okay, hobbyist, so you built during the bear market so that during the bull run you can accumulate. So I'm trying not to continue to look at ASICs and go, oh, I need to buy more. And actually make more strategic moves with that to say, okay, I'm going to be more content and sit on some of these and start to really eye up, where I can go from here. So for you, when it comes down to hardware, at least right now, what you're seeing, are you looking to kind of build your arsenal of hardware, or are you deciding, hey, 2025 is definitely a bull run year and definitely a year where I'm not going to accumulate like I was a year ago?
So I'm not going to accumulate like I was a year ago. However, any moment before we get to the actual top is still an opportunity if the goal is to flip the hardware. we were talking about the L9. I made a video about L9s recently, and in my research for doing that video and writing my script, I looked back at historical prices just from the past few months. If you had bought an L9 in October of 2024, just 3 months ago, basically, you could have bought one for just over $10,000. Let's call it $10,500. And if you had got that online, you bought it for $10,500. You got it online. You've been mining from then until now. From the Doge, if you just held onto it, you've mined and that's appreciated, and from the machine that has appreciated, you would be somewhere between 70 to 80% of your way to break even just in 3 months on that machine. So we've entered this stage, and I think that's only going to ramp up when Doge is $1, $2. Can it do $2? I don't know. I think it's probably going to do at least $1. I mean, what do you think these machines are going to go for? So yeah, right now I just, I bought my 2 L9s last month. I'm looking at getting some of the alpha pecs, bigger ASICs. I want to get some more like script, maybe considering getting some more Bitcoin machines, because those are also going up. Because whatever I can get now, I'm not going to stack like I had been, but whatever I can get now, and I can run for the next 3 to 9 to 12 months, however long before we get truly into the mania and alt season. Then I'm going to run that. I'm going to mine. I'm going to hodl. So I'm going to accumulate, and then I'm going to flip the machines for hopefully a 2, 3, 5x multiplier. I don't know, but I imagine even buying now, like just again to go back to the L9, for 14 to 16,000, depending on where you're buying it. I can't imagine a world where Doge is over $1 and those things aren't going for 20 to 30 grand each. I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I look at the L9 and people reach out to me and they're like, hey, I want to get my hands on a miner, is now a good time to buy an L9? And I always say, yesterday was a better time. And the day before that was a better time. However, now is still a great time to do that. And I agree with you. Right now, taking a look, Dogecoin is at 35 cents. And we're on the 25th of January. No one believes we're going to stay where we are right now, and everything is going to go up. But if you actually look, I did a video on Kaspa the other day, and I was looking at how Kaspa doesn't follow the traditional altcoin markets. But if you look at Dogecoin reflects Bitcoin now. So back last bull run, we looked at Bitcoin and Ethereum and how Ethereum very much kind of followed that pattern of Bitcoin. Well, Dogecoin is there. So if that is the case, do you believe that Bitcoin, and this is just a rhetorical question, do you believe that Bitcoin is going to go up from where it is? And the answer is yes. So that means that Dogecoin will follow as well. And so do I believe Dogecoin is going to 2x or 3x before Bitcoin does that? Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially where it's at right now. So I do think the L9 today at the end of January is still a very good play at $14,000, $15,000, $16,000. And looking ahead, just like Andy had spoke about, I only see this going up. Every person I talk to, even resellers that I talk to, are like, we see this hitting $20,000, $25,000, and $30,000 this bull run. So you have lots of opportunity. You got to look at the hardware too and sell it, just like Andy had said, at the appropriate time to take that win. So looking.
Oh, and one.
Go ahead, Andy. What do you got? Yeah, please.
It's wild to me. Everything we just talking about all the news over the past week and stuff. I'm still right now getting some comments on some of my like Kaspa mining videos and talking about what a waste of time Kaspa mining is and how it's totally not worth it. It's just so unprofitable. And I see this kind of sentiment still at this stage, and I'm just like, I don't know what to tell some of these people. It's just like, wake up and look around, like read the room. Like, do you really think that Kaspa, if we pick that one out, for example, because it has had a little bit of a rougher time, but do you really think Kaspa is going to be the same price as it is right now in 6 months' time if everything that's currently happening keeps happening? So that's my big encouragement when it comes to this conversation. If you're like, is Dogecoin going to stay the same price? If you're interested in the Litecoin you're mining with at L9, is Bitcoin going to stay the same price? You have to be kind of blind to think that we hit the top. I think that everything that's happened the past week is setting the precedence for what's going to be going forward. And anything you're mining, just keep doing it, because that stack that you build up, I imagine, is going to be quite a healthy return. You just have to be a little bit more patient.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually brought up Kaspa. I think I'll put that in the same boat as Alephium right now, where we have so many people that love buying hardware and love talking about hardware when these coins are pumping and doing very well. But when it's down, a lot of these people, and even amongst our circles, forget where we were just a year ago. with the bear market, and forget about the mentality of just keep mining, keep accumulating, keep buying, and keep your head down. I mean, I was speaking. My brother reached out to me the other day, and he only reaches out when crypto's doing well. Type of situation. Hey, what should I buy? It's always get that. Lots of people get that. And I even brought up to him. I said, hey, Kaspa, Alephium, they're down right now. I said, he likes to hit up meme coins. I'm like, I stay away from meme coins myself. However, I was like, take a look at Kaspa and Alephium. They're low. I absolutely expect them to go up. Might be a good buy for you right now. I mean, for me personally, I'm still mining with 17 Kaspa miners. And you might be like, well, half of them aren't profitable. You're absolutely right. But I don't look at day-to-day mining. And I know, Andy, you don't look at day-to-day mining. And we're looking at, okay, what can we accumulate and where can we take profits later on, 2025 and maybe in 2026?
Yeah, you have to, like, if you can't, like, at this stage, if you haven't yet figured out how to have a longer term mindset, like, let me be frank with you, and sorry, be the bearer of bad news, you're just not going to make it in this space. Like, you have to be able to think past a few weeks. Yeah, I have people, I made an Alephium miner video a couple weeks ago, and I have people in the comments like, this is so stupid. Look how far it's down. I'm like, if you're only thinking about this stuff for the next couple of weeks, like, I just give up now and get on out, because like, I'm mining all these things, like you just said, for the upcoming months or upcoming year or whatever. And whatever I'm accumulating now, even in the case of Kaspa, which is like break even on some of my machines, not actually profitable. It's just like I'm making as much as I'm spending. I'm not concerned about that. I'm just concerned about, what does it do in the future? Does it go up? If yes, do I make money? Yes. So that's kind of how I think about all this stuff. And also, being in this longer and multiple cycles, you start to develop that little bit of like, okay, I'm going to think a little bit more in front of myself, not just the next few weeks, next few months, but then what does the next year look like?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think those videos of yours on Alethium and like the AL3 will all of a sudden start to do well. When Alethium starts pumping again, and we're definitely telling a different story, and that's pretty normal for us YouTubers. We see that definitely happen a lot. So something else that sparked my interest, and I'm curious on yours, looking at just 2025, new administration, a lot of news that's come out recently, is this massive push and massive investment about AI and about building out these AI farms. For me, I could go two sides with that. My first side is like, oh, I'm really excited. That gets me wanting to buy into more, get into more of these AI related projects, especially with some of the hardware. For me as a GPU miner, I still got a lot of hardware sitting around. I love to repurpose it. So I'm like, oh, what platforms can I put these on? But then I'm also like, okay, is AI becoming so industrialized that a lot of these platforms, like your Salad or your Flux OS or Vast, are they literally going to be put by the wayside? And I can't repurpose some of that as a home miner with GPU mining. So what are your thoughts on some of the latest news on AI coming out, really this push? And do you think some of these decentralized platforms that have shown a lot of interest within the scene during the bear market have a lot of opportunity with partnerships, or do you think that this could, unfortunately, too industrialized?
AI is definitely my top narrative for this cycle. So very, very bullish on it. I think most of the people who are considered some of the leading experts in this space all come to the same conclusion. They all agree that there's just not enough compute available for what the demand of AI, as it mingles its way into our everyday life more and more and more as we go forward. There's a reason NVIDIA stock has outperformed Bitcoin, over the past several years. It's just like a skyrocket, because there's just this incredible appetite to get these chips to make all this AI stuff happen. And that's only going to be exacerbated as we progress, as this stuff evolves. So yes, very bullish on AI. Definitely have a big section of my portfolio focused on AI. A section of it is dedicated just to the computational side. That's my positions like Flux, Chlor, Octaspace. Other ones I don't own, like Akash, that are really, really strong. And then there's also the other side where I'm trying to do some like pure AI plays, whether it be AI agents or chatbots or generative plays or marketplaces in AI. I got a whole litany of things there that I'm trying to execute on. And then when it comes like the GPU element, I'm not putting any of my, I don't have that many GPUs to begin with, but I'm not putting them on any platforms. But I do have some of my GPUs now in dedicated systems for things like Tempe, Synaptron nodes,
Yeah.
which utilize GPUs to do their AI. And I have some DEPIN devices that are AI related, like Aether. So, I am definitely trying to earn it where I can, but I'm not a huge focus there. But I am very focused on owning a bunch of coins and tokens that I think are strong and valuable plays within that space, because I think, I don't think it's a fad. I think it's just only going to go up from here. It's only going to become more part of our daily life, and the narrative is just going to dominate. I mean, I think we're going to be fairly mind blown watching what happens to the AI sector within crypto this cycle.
Yeah, there was a great conversation on my Discord earlier today, and I really liked the avenue it was going, where it was like, okay, so AI is exploding, and we're seeing all these data centers get up and running, and is that going to eat up all of the demand? And I agree with you with what you say there, where there never will be enough. Like, just where we are now, 100x that, because like we are going to continue to lean into AI. I mean, I've been using it more and more in my day-to-day workflow. What I heard, which I really, really liked, was the fact of like, we're going to see all these major players like your OpenAI and all these other ones out there, and ChatGPT and all of that. They're all going to have their dedicated enterprise level data centers built, and that is going to be utilized, but they're all going to need overflow, is what I've heard the great avenue to go towards, where home miners or hobbyists or individuals building out some smaller farms like we have can utilize that and go on these platforms that will be used for overflow. And I love to hear that, because it's like, that's fantastic. Like, if that's where we are, that's where our place is, I'm all for it. And I do agree with you, Andy, like jumping into a lot of these. I know there's a lot of people that watch our channels that are more investors, versus actually, getting into the GPU mining or AI mining side, and looking to buy up some of these tokens. And I think you named a number of them where it is kind of AI is a rental service, is what that comes down to, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, especially given just how many, I don't know how many tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of miners there were out there from, when Ethereum was still proof of work, that have been kind of lost in no man's land since that time, trying to find their place in the world. And now, we have all these AI platforms and stuff, and I think there's still a missing ingredient there, but eventually those two will be linked up more seamlessly than they currently are, and then we can make use of all of that compute. Because there's, I don't remember who said it, but there's people who, like, some experts out there who talk about like this future where AI is such a dominant presence in our future, in our everyday lives, that it's not that we're all worried about having enough money or this or that. It's about each of us having enough computational power associated with ourselves. Like, what if we get to a society where AI is so pervasive and a part of it that it's like gotten rid of a litany of jobs that we humans do right now, and then we've gutted the economy effectively with these jobs being replaced by automated systems and things. What if in that world we have some kind of universal basic income or something to supplement people who are no longer doing the normal work and stuff they are, and in this economy, in this world, then you're going to need computational power to interface with these jobs, or to do your own job, or to just subsist beyond that. And in that world, to power all those things, you're going to need to have all this computation just for the machines and the software itself. This is all like utopia high, like up in the pie in the sky kind of talk. I don't know how much of it will actually is just science fiction or will actually happen, but you can't deny how valuable computation is. And then you just look at the prices of GPUs, especially the high-end stuff, like the H100s from NVIDIA, or the even bigger ones. It's just like monumental prices, massive wafers, huge computation. You look at ChatGPT, and the last time they built their large language model, it was measured, the time it took to build the thing was measured in teraflop days. Like, just the computational level here we're talking about is so massive. Humanity has never seen these levels of CPU computational GPU usage ever before. So yeah, I don't know how you can even learn a little bit about this stuff and not be just bullish on that entire space, whether you are going to invest in NVIDIA, you're going to run GPUs at your house, you're going to buy crypto AI projects, I don't take your pick, but like all of it is going to go up and to the right at some point when this stuff continues to catch fire.
Love it. I agree. So last thing we'll talk about today, and I will go first on this one, is very curious on something in 2025 that you're most excited about that you haven't mentioned yet. Because we talked about Bitcoin, we talked about AI in here, we talked about, Dogecoin. So for me, last thing I'm really excited about here that will top things off with 2025 here is some DEPIN projects that I'm getting into. So one thing that I've made a big objective of getting into is DEPIN projects that are in testnet. And this is sometimes a really hard one for people to get behind because the first question, how much does it make? Like that's what I hear constantly. And I very much have made it a point to start to get into projects that are in testnet, that are just launching. Very much think of it as hey, you're investing into a project almost as like an investor. You don't know if this is going to work out, but if it does, it could be very fruitful. If it doesn't, it's a small investment. A couple $100 is what I'm calling a small investment. And so there's 3 projects for me that I'm just going to combine into one that I'm really eager to see where they go in 2025. One is Star Power. Another one is the Nubula Marco Miner. And finally, the last one is the Deep Miner. 3 projects that are fully in testnet, and I've shown interest in them just because of that. That's one of like the check boxes that I've looked at looking into 2025 is stop getting into projects that are pre-established. Profitability is there. I'm coming late to the game. I want to step myself in 2025 into more projects that are super early on, that are in testnet where I can accumulate token or get into things rather early. What about you, Andy? Looking at the rest of the year 2025, what is one thing, does not have to be DEPIN, that you are most excited about getting into?
I mean, DEPIN definitely has several that are in testnet that I'm interested in. I just got my Deep little device computer up and running, which is it's a Minis Forum MS01, which is a cool little mini PC. So even if the project doesn't work out, you're left with a pretty sweet little mini PC.
Yep.
That you can turn into a home lab server or something. Wingbits is another one that's in testnet that I'm excited about. And Daba, another one that's not actually mainnet yet. But outside of that, like in the AI side of things, since we were talking about that for a while, one that I think is very tiny. It's like around a $10 million market cap. It's called 𝐼𝐫𝐴𝐻. It's a whole bunch of AI products all put together, but the main way to view that one is it's like they're trying to build a way for open source AI to get funding. So that one's kind of cool. And then one here out of left field, so we haven't broached this topic at all. If we're going to talk about projects I haven't ever mentioned before, this is the first time I've ever talked about this one. It will be coming up in some upcoming videos. Is a crypto gaming project called SolForge. The token is SFG. It's a card-based game. The creator of Magic the Gathering is behind it, and it's like an $8 million market cap or $12 million market cap today. So it's very tiny. So I've been buying that one like crazy.
That is amazing. So guys, here's what we're going to do. Annie and I are going to reconnect here in about 3 months, reconnect on where we are again in 2025 and kind of see where things have gone. We're already so excited. There's so much going on in crypto. If you guys are watching this, leave comments down below. Andy and I talked about a ton. And if you want to learn more about some of the projects Andy talked about, I will put a link directly down below to Andy's channel. He talks about all of these things. Go check it out. Andy, thanks for joining me today. What's up, guys? Sorry to interrupt your video, but want to keep you in the know. So are you new at mining, or you're just looking to step into it? You're not sure what hardware you want to buy. You're not sure what build you want to do. Need some help? Maybe you're building your first mining rig and you literally need help step by step installing Hive OS. Maybe you're so far away from mining, but you're looking at it and you just need somebody to bounce some ideas off of. Well, I offer one-on-one calls with the community, and I've done boatloads, some really cool ones. I've helped people set up ASIC miners in the Dominican Republic. I've helped someone troubleshoot their very first GPU mining rig. I've chatted with a guy looking to open up a farm and just wanted a sounding board. I've helped someone else build and set up and configure their brand new Kaspa miners. Well, I'm here to help, and I'd love to work with you. If you guys need one-on-one help, I offer it, and I love doing it. So there's a link directly down below to TheHobbyistMiner.io. Go over there and schedule some time with me. All right, back to the video.